For this last video, we're going to try and combine everything we've shown you so far into one quick round of play. The scenario we've got set up is the Amobians, the Solteris, 2 SDMK units, and 3 infected units. The Amobians just lost their support unit from their squad in the last room in the last round. They're going to try and get to the control space and phase in that support unit as a reinforcement. It will bring a guy back on the board for them, and it will also gain them some victory points, which may bring them to a winning score. The Solteris see that they're getting close to their winning score and are going to try and stop them at all costs. The Amobians rolled the high initiative in this round, so they get to go first. So their first option is to try and move their operations unit to the control space. That way they can try and activate the pad and phase in a reinforcement. They have a movement of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He makes it, and he's now going to try and use his action to activate the control space. Now, you have to beat a 9 to activate any control space on the station. Its base operations skill is a 4. They don't have a leader on the board anywhere, so they don't get a +1 bonus, but because it's an operations unit, it does get its +2 bonus. A 4 plus the base unit score of 4 equals 8. The operations unit adds 2 to it, which makes it a 10, and it just barely beats the 9. So it's successful in operating, and now it's going to phase in a support unit right on this empty phasing pad here. This unit's turn is over. It's taken its movement in action. The support unit, just being phased in, can't move, but it can take an action. And it's going to choose to use its ballistic weapon since there are units within range. Now the Amobians have a unique ballistic weapon called Pulse Rippers. They do not have to make a ballistic check. They will automatically hit all targets within range. Now this sounds like that may be drastic, but the range is only 3. And for every hex it goes outwards from that range, it lessens in damage. For instance, when its unit fires this weapon, anything within 1 hex away will take 3 damage. Anything within 2 hexes away will take 2 damage. And anything within 3 hexes away will only take 1 damage. So the support unit will cross off 1 ammo and choose to fire its Pulse Ripper. Since it automatically hits, the next step is only figuring out which units are in range and how much they're damaged. The infected right here is 1 hex away, so it will take a full 3 damage. Since they only have a health of 1, it dies, and the Amobians gain a victory point. Nothing else is within 1 hex away. Within 2 hexes away, we find this infected. This infected will take 2 damage. Having a health of 1, this one will automatically die, and they gain another victory point. Now there's nothing left within 3 hexes away. You have to be careful with this weapon because it will also damage your team members as well. So, even though it's powerful, you have to keep your units spread out or it can backfire on you. This unit's turn is now over. The medic has the last option of taking a movement and an action. Since the operations unit was damaged on the last round and is down to 1 health, the medic's going to choose to go and heal that unit. 1, 2, 3, 4. It only needs 4 movement to get there, and it's now adjacent and can use an action and it's a special ability to return this operations unit to full health. All 3 Amobians have taken their turn, and their movement and actions are finished. So now the Amobians' turn is over. Next, what will happen is an NPC turn comes up. The player to the left of the Amobians will get a chance to roll a die and see how many NPC units it can control. It rolled a 6. Currently there's only 1, 2, 3 in play at the moment, so even though it rolled 6, it will only get a chance to control 3. The first option they'll choose is they're going to take an SDMK unit and they're going to fire at that support unit. They have phasic arblators and their range is 10. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the range is clearly made, and there is nothing in its way obstructing the view. So a clear line of sight is made, and range makes as well. So the SDMK has a ballistic skill of 6, plus 5 makes a total of 11. The Amoebians have a defense of 6, plus 2 only makes 8. The STMK is successful in making an attack and will now roll for damage. A 1 to 5 does 2 damage, and a 6 will incarcerate the unit in one of the security cells in the prison room. A 4 is rolled, so 2 damage will be dealt to this support unit. Its armor will be destroyed, as it only has 1 point, and then the remaining 1 point of damage will go to its health, reducing it to 2. This SDMK's turn is over. Next up, we'll use the Infected. We're going to try and attack this operations unit. Since the Infected have no ballistic skill, they'll always want to run up and use a melee. 1, 2, 3. They only need 3 even though they have a movement of 8. Now that it's within range, it chooses a melee attack. The Amoebians get to choose to attack back or defend. Since their melee is only a 4 and their defense is 6, they're going to choose to defend. The Infected have a melee of 6, plus a 4 gives them a total of 10. The operations unit has a defense of 6, plus a 4 gives them a 10. In this instance, defenders will win the tie, so the Infected fails at its melee attack. Since it's moved and its action have been taken, the unit is flipped over, and that turn is over. There's only 1 left to control now, so we'll use this SDMK and we'll try and shoot one more time at the support unit. The range is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It makes range. And there is nothing from this point all the way over to any other point obstructing the view, so it has clear line of sight. The SDMK has a ballistic of 6, plus a 1 makes a total of 7. Their defense is a 6, plus a 3 makes 9, so the unit's defense has defended against the ballistic attack and the SDMK's turn is over. They'll stay flipped over until the end of the round when every player has had their chance to have a turn. Then at the beginning of the new round, the NPC units will flip back over. Now it's finally the Solteris' turn. What they're going to do is try and move in and take a shot at one of these Amoebians. They have a movement of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The flux spores they have a range of 6, so he's going to try and take a shot at the support unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just within range, and there's nothing obstructing its line of sight, so it can make its ballistic attack as normal. The ballistic skill for the Solteris is a 4, but this is also a leader, so it's going to add a plus 1, making it a 5. Plus a 4 makes a total of 9. The Amoebians have a defense of 6, plus a 6 makes 12. The unit has defended. The Solteris will have to cross off its ammo, and now its movement and action are over. The only thing left the Solteris can do are move its support unit in and try and take another ballistic shot. Since the control computer does not actually block line of sight, it's going to take its shot on this operations unit right from where it is. There's nothing blocking its line of sight, so it has clear line of sight, and it has a range of 6 for the flux spores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It makes range and line of sight, so the ballistic score 4, plus 1 for the leader, and the support unit also has a special ability to add 2 to its ballistic score. So it goes from a 4 to a 5 to a 7. Plus 1 makes an 8. Now the operations unit has a defense of 6, but is minus 2 to defend when defending a shot from a flux spore. So it's down to a 4. Plus a 4 makes 8. It has successfully defended against the attack. The Solteris can now move if it chooses to, but it's going to stay right where it is. The Solteris turn is ended, and now normally another NPC turn would take place, the player to the left of the Solteris, but there are no NPC units left to control as they've all been used for this round. So this round of combat is over. The players can flip everything back. Then they'll re-roll to see initiative who goes first, and then a new round will start. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you guys enjoyed.